So in this video, we're going to look at some examples on questions involving percentage increase and decrease, and I'll teach you a couple of different methods on how to tackle them. A number of these types of questions, when you encounter them in the exam, will generally be worded questions, so we're going to look at some of those types of worded questions. We'll start off with this first one, which involves a sale where a t-shirt that originally cost £30 has been reduced in price by 18%, and it asks us how much does it cost now. Now, just one thing to point out when dealing with worded questions, it's always very, very important to read the question carefully. There's a big difference between if it's asking us how much does it cost now, as opposed to how much has it been reduced by, because all that will be asking us for would be the 18%. When we're asked how much does it cost now, what we have to do is find the 18%, and then because it's a price reduction, take that away from the original amount. So that's exactly what we're going to do for the first method. So I'll teach you a couple of different ways of going about this, and again, it's totally up to yourself what your prepared method is. The first one, we're going to find 18%, and then we're going to just take that away. So if you remember to our last video where we looked at how we find percentage of an amount, if we want to find 18%, well, first of all, we take the original amount and we divide by 100 to find 1%. Okay, so if I was, again, just show my working out here, if I was to take £30 and divide that by 100, and we get 0.3, which is 30p essentially, so that is 1%, okay? And if I know 1%, I can simply multiply that by the percentage, so multiply by percentage, which in this case is going to be 18%, okay? So I would take my 1%, which is 0.3 or 30 pence, and I would multiply that by 18, and that's going to give me my 18%, okay? So 0.3 times 18 gives me 5.4, okay? So 18% of £30 is £5.40. So it's been reduced by 18%, so all we have to do is subtract from the original amount. Okay, so that is our last step. Okay, so we're just doing £30, take away £5.40, and that will leave us with £24.60. So that's one way of doing it. Okay, now again, just like in our previous video of working with percentages, I'll teach you a number of different methods. The other one is to say use a decimal multiplier to find 18%. So 18%, okay, as a decimal multiplier is 0.18. So 18%, and again, I'm just showing this for the sake of my working out. 18% is 0.18. Remember from the last video, if you ever want to change a percentage into a decimal, just divide it by 100. Okay, and to find 18% using a decimal multiplier, we just do 0.18 times the original amount, which is 30. And again, that should give us the same amount. So 0.18 times 30 again equals 5.4, which is 540. Again, because that is 18%, we just subtract that away from the original amount, so the last step is the same, and again that will give us this exact same answer as the other method. So one method is just finding a percentage by dividing by 100, multiplying by the percentage, and the other one is just using a decimal multiplier. Now, there's another wee method I'm just going to show you, and again, it's just depending what way you'd like to think about it. If you consider that we're taking 18% off, well then that means the amount that left is 82%. So we could find 82%. So you could take the percentage away from 100 first off. So we could just find 82%, because 82% is going to be the answer that we're looking for. So you can use that. You can do that either method by dividing by 100 times by 82 to find 82%, or you could use a decimal multiplier. So if I was to do that, again, just to shorten steps, so 30 divided by 100, which will be 0.3, that is, again, or 1%. And now to find 82%, take 0.3 and multiply by 82, and that should give me £24.60. Again, the handy thing about knowing multiple methods is that it's a good way of checking if we've made a mistake in any of our working out. So 24.6 times, 0.3 times 82, and again that gives me 24.6, £24.60. Alright, so that's another way of thinking about it, taking the percentage away from 100 at the very start. If it was a percentage increase type of question, we would actually add it on. Okay, and I'll look at that in the next example. The other way, again, just using a decimal multiplier. So if I was to consider 82% as a decimal multiplier, is 0.82. Just take the original amount, probably the quickest way of doing it. So £30 times 0.82 should give me 24.6, and we'll just test that out. 24 times 0.82, 24.6. Okay, £24.60. Okay, so 4 slightly different methods for working out this question, totally up to yourself. I would generally go for this, which is the easier way of doing it. I'm going to do a second example, which is here. This is a percentage increase type of question. A TV is increased in price by 6%. It originally cost £300. How much does it cost now? So TV has been increased in price. I'm going to use decimal multipliers this time again, just to work that wee bit quicker. If I wanted to take 6% and work it out as a decimal multiplier, just remember, divide by 100, and just be careful it's 0.06, not 0.6, because that would be 60%. All right. So if using that, I wanted to find 6% of 300. 0.06 times 300 is 18. Okay, so 6% is £18, of course, because we're dealing with money, and it's a percentage increase question, so it's highlight key things within the question as well. That's another good practice for any exam. 300 plus 18 is 318. Alright, so again, and just to save time, using decimal multipliers, because personally I think they're that wee bit quicker. If I wanted to consider, well, it's a percentage increase, so add the percentage on to the original amount first. So 100% is the original amount, adding 6% on. So essentially what we're finding at the end of this question will be 106%. If we want to change that into a decimal multiplier, just divide by 100. So you would get 1.06. And actually just taking the original amount and multiplying it by our decimal multiplier, that includes the 100% plus the 6% increase, will give us the answer straight away. So I should get £318 from this. Okay, so 300 times 1.06 is 318. All right. These types of questions, again, percentage increase or decrease, essentially not much different from the previous lesson where we were finding percentages of an amount. It's just really deciding whether it's an increase or a decrease and adding it on. And following up lessons, I look at reverse percentages and things like that, but I will post some questions here just to give you a bit of practice in that.